Hey guys. Um, okay, I'm a little bit out of sorts at the moment. I'm still clean and sober. Don't worry about that. God and me are working on that one on one. But I have to be honest, I'm having a bit of a rough day today. Uh, I'll do my best to explain it to you because I really want there to be awareness made of just how bad addiction can really get. I want there to be more people aware of the gravity of addiction. And we live in a society today where people are too afraid to speak and tell the truth because they're afraid of being judged and being tacked with the stigma that goes with addiction and being an addict. Because everybody knows you can't trust an addict. Kind of not wrong. And I'm not going to toot my horn, but I tried my best, even through my worst parts of my addiction, to still be a good person. And then there just came a point where I was dealing with too much, and I was so caught up in my own actions and what I was doing that I didn't care. So, you guys have been with me through this entire transition, which really started when I went back on my meds. So, you have seen the freedom and the weight lifted off of me. I've talked about that in a video, a couple of them. The biggest one being the video called "My Message to You, to the World." I let you guys get a glimpse into my life and at me. So, but I only really touched up on the positive part of what's going on with me. Um, right now, I just got back from church. Um, I had a really great time at church today, and a lot of people have noticed a difference in me. And some revelations dawned on me today while I was there. And I want to touch up on some more of the bad parts of addiction because I want people to be aware of what they're getting into if they decide to F around with the wrong thing like I did. So, to start with, I'm going to talk about my dad and me. Now, I'm not trying to break his anonymity. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the light out of the camera so you can actually see me. um, I'm not trying to break his anonymity because of the 12 steps and all, but my dad was a coke and heroin addict many, many years ago. About 22 years ish. He got clean in July 4th, 2000. And one of the things that really went south because of my addiction was my relationship with my father. Um, to start with, we were always very close. I was a daddy's boy, not a mama's boy. Um, my dad and me used to be inseparable. In fact, there's a picture of me with three footprints across my chest. There was this, I forget when it happened, but there was this time that we went to Sedona for vacation. I know it was Sedona. Um, I don't even remember what really happened, but my dad and I, when we were getting out of the car, he had said something colorful along the way that kind of ticked me off a little bit, and it was innocent, really. It was just two boneheads being boneheads, really. So I charged my dad. Okay, I was like 15 years old, maybe a little younger. Now, if you know my dad, this is why this is so funny. My dad is crippled, okay? He's disabled because of the lifestyle that he lived during my age, when he was my age. And what made it so funny was he was able to kick me three times in the chest before I could even land one blow. So I'm sitting there And I get this look on my face. I'm looking down at my shirt because there's 3 massive footprints on my shirt, and I didn't realize that he had actually kicked me. I thought he pushed me away from him, but I looked down, and there's these 3 footprints on my chest, and I just blurt out, "You got me 3 times in the chest before I could even land a blow." And he's like, "Don't ever underestimate a cripple." And my mom, my dad, and me all started busting up laughing about it because it was so stupid, but it was also hilarious at the same time. Um, I don't know why I shared that, but that's the kind of relationship my dad and me had. Now, I said how addiction will take everything you love, and it will take away your passions and your patience and everything. It will twist you into something you don't recognize. But it does more than just damage you, the user. And that's what I want to talk about today. Um, the effect of addiction on loved ones and family. Today, I learned that my dad is absolutely torn and devastated at the state of the relationship between him and me over the years. And I admit, I fucked up. It's an 11-year fuck up. And I gotta hand him credit where credit is due. He had patience for many years. But there came a point where I stopped trying to be decent. I stopped trying to be good because I just didn't care. I was so wrapped up in not going through detox and suffering when in reality I was making myself suffer by continuing to do what I was doing. And in the process of doing that, I didn't just break my parents' hearts. I broke their trust in my word, for one. I broke their trust in me. I broke their trust in who I am and how I will react to certain situations, that I became unpredictable. And somewhere along the lines, I turned real bitter and angry at everything and everyone. And it wasn't that I was angry at those people. It was that there was so much chaos going on up here and in here that I didn't have any room for any other outside stimuli. So I found myself picking my dad apart to his face time and time again. I was an asshole. And I did that to more than just one person. I've been an asshole to a lot of people, including my mother, my father, a couple exes actually, several friends, and now, okay, I'm just going to speak freely. Right now, it is like, okay, put it this way. It's like falling asleep, thinking you're going to wake up the next day, okay? However, when you wake up, to you, it may seem like the next day. But in reality, 11 years got behind you. You wake up and you resume your life when you were 18, where you left off living life. And I wake up to find that I burned the whole town down. And I keep trying to tell myself that that really wasn't who I am. That wasn't the real me. And it's kind of hard to deny that when I've got the Zippo in my pocket. And yes, I'm quoting Sam Winchester from Supernatural when he got his soul back. It's like waking up and finding out I burned the whole town down and everybody tells me it wasn't you, but I'm the one with the Zippo in my pocket. That's where I'm at the moment. State-dependent learning has a lot to do with this. When I quit taking my meds at the age of 18, and if you don't believe me about state-dependent learning, look it up. I dare you. Look it up. Now, when I turned 18 and I quit taking my meds, I put myself outside of that state of mind where I had been from the age of 4 on till the age of 18. And without my meds, I lost my mind over time. And I keep asking myself, how the hell did I function like that? And everybody keeps telling me, you didn't. You were living a delusion. And they're not wrong. And trying to reconcile the things that I've done to everyone I love, everyone I ever cared about and loved, with the change in me now, I look back with a heavy heart and I realize there's really nothing I can do to fix what has been done. But I'm trying to move forward. That doesn't mean forget what I've done. Doesn't mean forget the past, because the moment you forget where you've been is the moment you're in trouble. It's good to remember the past, to remember where you've come from, and also to help prevent it from repeating itself. I have a lot of amends to make with a lot of people that I care about and love. Some of them will never give me the time of day after everything I've done. Some of them I'll never hear from again. And they don't realize that I'm actually me for the first time in 11 years. They never knew me medicated. So I can't really describe this to them in a way that they can accept because of the pain that I caused them. It is so great that they cannot see past who I was to see who I am now. You know what? I've got that coming. I really do. Some of those people haunt me every single day, every single night. When I'm trying to close my eyes and go to sleep, I see their faces. I see the tears in their eyes. I hear the disappointment in their voices when they all tried to talk some reason into me through the years. I hear the echoes of their words. It's all up here. How do I even begin to start thinking about how to make that right? Especially when I personally feel guilt and shame for everything that I've done. And I know that some of those people, just thinking about me, causes them excruciating pain in the heart. And I get that. I do. But I want to tell my side of what happened. And I'm not trying to take away from my blame and my part in what happened. But you don't understand. Not completely. They say the addict who suffers, God, I can't talk. In a 12-step program, they talk about the addict that suffers, or that still suffers, and, well, every minute of every fuck up I ever committed, I felt every bit of it. And I knew up here that what I was doing was wrong. And that right there is one of the ways drug addiction is so evil, because it'll make you push it out of your mind and deal with it later. But when later comes around, you say later again. So then you constantly say later, later, later. I'll deal with it later. I'll have more time later. But later never comes. And you keep putting off looking inward. And you put off doing the right thing because it's scary. And doing the right thing could cause you pain. And you're right, it could. But also, doing what you're doing continuously and continuing to do it will only keep it going. Yeah, you're going to suffer for a while when you quit. You'll get that detox, the withdrawal, and then there comes the emotional crap, and then triggers where everything you do, everything you say, and just seeing something a certain way. Like, for example, rock salt or ice melt, for example. That's a huge trigger for me. Because you know what it looks like? Do I even need to say it? Probably not, but I will anyway. Rock salt was a huge trigger for me because it looked like or resembled closely my drug of choice, crystal methamphetamine. And after you deal with the triggers, then there's the me, myself, and I part, where you're all alone, the door's closed, and the lights are off, and all you have are your thoughts and your feelings and God. But in that moment, being able to separate God from your feelings and step back and allow Him to get between you and the crap. That is the thing I failed to do throughout the years. I quit asking God for help. In fact, I quit asking for help from anybody unless it served me. And that's a very selfish way to live. And as a result, my own father doesn't know what to think of me now. But I don't blame him. He needs to see for himself that I'm changing. But on the other hand, to him, he doesn't feel this change. I do. But how do you convince somebody who's only seen the worst of your actions for over a decade? How do you convince them that you're really changing and have them truly believe it? Addiction, as I said, is very evil and it doesn't discriminate. And by the way, also another thing I want to say. I had a friend the other day who I was excited to share this change with, and honestly, I don't know what the heck they even said because another one of my friends ended up getting rid of the conversation, or at least that part, and I wasn't able to really look at it. And I have no idea what was said, but I know that they disagreed with something that I had to say or something I did in the video or whatever. And frankly, you know what? If you can't notice that I'm happy for once in 11 years and you can't be happy for me, I'm truly sorry for you. Because I'm speaking only truth. And you know what? The truth shall set you free. So get rid of that pride, get rid of that ego, and quit being afraid of being judged. I don't give a you know what if I'm judged for these videos. Because there will be somebody out there, even one person in this planet, who will listen to what I have to say and they'll make the connection on their own. There will be somebody that will get something out of what I have to say. It's inevitable. YouTube is worldwide. All nations, as far as I know. But if I can help one person with these words, then it will all have meant something. And maybe that person will skip the lifestyle that I lived. So, right now I'm having a difficult time. I admit it. I don't understand why I'm having anxiety attacks today, but I am. I find myself praying repeatedly because of these anxiety attacks, because my oh shit bar is about to break off the freaking car itself, and then it's just a handheld thingamabob. No. I'm gonna go for now. The next video I do, I will hopefully be in a better mood. But if not, then I'll probably play guitar or something. I don't know what yet. But right now I'm having a bit of issues, a bit of problem. A bit of a problem. God, I can't talk. Anyway, that's it for now. I will see you next time. God bless you all. You are important in this world, and you are loved, and you matter. Don't ever forget that. See ya.